I said a story I had yesterday took me off my legs. What was the story? Some of you know the man. Chairman, you know the man that supervises our site, that leaves our headquarters, right? His brother from his village had an issue where he lives in the north. This man is a trader. The man is a trader. His name is Peter from Soka in Enugu. He had an issue. And he was telling that Bro Sunday, because Bro Sunday traveled for his brother's burial. So he met his brother Peter. He was sharing the testimony to me yesterday and I stood still. What was this testimony? A time came in the north, it was the turn of Brother Peter to go to the market. You know the traders, sometimes they contribute money if it is your turn to go. They contributed money and gave him. It was his turn to go to the market. There was an information that money were given to him. In the night, criminals came. And the man, being a smart person, he brought an empty bag of rice and packed all the whole money and disguised it and put it in front of his domot. So you won't know anywhere because nobody can put such amount of money outside now. So your head cannot go there. So they were outside with other people in the night with their mat on the ground. Suddenly, look at the criminal broke into the compound and opened the bullet on them, including Brother Peter. Brother Peter said, immediately they shot him. He stood up. You know, when they shoot you once, you won't notice anything happen to you. Once bullet came, it happens like a knife. Once they cut you, you will notice the pinch, but it's not that time you will feel the pain. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So, immediately Brother Peter stood up to run. He discovered that his body was divided. He fell back there. And the blood was pumping, and he failed. So one day another Igbo man, after the whole thing happened, rushed him to the hospital. When he got to the hospital, the main doctor was not in the hospital. But there was a baby doctor who all these students that is going to hospitals for training and all that. So eventually that was the doctor that handled Brother Peter. And Brother Peter, the doctor was handling Brother Peter and Brother Peter died. Suddenly the main doctor came and the Igbo guy that brought him was just crying very bitterly. So when the main doctor came, the main doctor looked at him and said, hey, where was he shot? They showed him. He said, this place they shot him shouldn't kill him. You know, there's a place they will shoot you that necessary that any doctor will look at and say, this thing will not kill you. But there's a place they will shoot you, invariably you're gone. He said, this thing shouldn't kill him. What has happened? He said, who attended to this man? The student came out and said, it's me. And they now check. He said, what medication did you? He brought it out. And when they checked, they discovered that he gave Brother Peter overdose. And Brother Peter died. Now look at what Brother Peter was discussing with Bro Sunday, who happens to be our supervisor these few weeks. He said, when I died, I didn't know I was dead, but I discovered I saw myself somewhere. He said the place I saw myself has a kind of lightning. He said you have never seen that kind of lightning anywhere in the world. He said everywhere was shining. He said, but there was a mystery that if he wants to talk to somebody, when you are standing with somebody there, anything you imagine in your heart becomes a voice. Like if you want to talk to somebody, your mouth will not move, but you're talking to somebody and the person is hearing what you're saying. Then another mystery he discovered was that if you want to go anywhere, maybe you want to go to this bus stop, immediately you imagine it, you see yourself there. He said beautiful animals rolling on the street. He said the lighting and the place was so beautiful. He said suddenly there was an announcement on the speaker. And the speaker made the announcement. After making the announcement, the voice was making an announcement. After making the announcement, the voice said, Brother Peter, you are going back. He turned back and said, going back where? The announcer, the voice now said, off the light. He said he was expecting the light to go off, but the light was not going off. He said the light was so bright and beautiful. He said the city was so beautiful that something have never existed anywhere. He said suddenly he discovered that the light started going dim. Not that the light you're looking was going dim, but when the light is going dim in his eyes, that he is going back. Imagine it like he's going dim and him was going. Bro Peter said suddenly, as the thing was going dim, and become as if it has dimmed very well, he said the next thing he had was, hey doctor, he is shaking his body. You know what that means? At that time he has returned back to his body. So the person standing by the dead body was shouting to the doctor that he is beginning to shake his body. And Bro Peter said immediately he opened his eyes and look and discover where he was. He said he became angry. He now decided to close back his eyes. He said he closed back many times and he refused to see himself there again. So he now woke up and started fighting the Igbo brother. Why did you bring me here? You would have left me to be there. Because at the place I saw myself is far more better than where we are. So the man was saying, how will I leave you? When I say this and that, after they drug it, the man said he closed his eyes again. He couldn't go back there. He was so bitter against the person that brought him. He now came back, and when they discharged him, he went back to his domot. The bag of money was still there. He carried it and returned back to the traders that owned it. People were crying, saying, wow, I just steal somebody like this, because they thought the criminals took away the money. And the guy left the north and returned back to Nsukka. He's in Nsukka now. And returned back to Enugu and stay in Nsukka. And the man said to Bro Sunday, if there is anything that will make me not to go back there again, I don't want. He said, I want to go back there. I want to go back there. Brother, whatever you can do to go there. This world is not my home. I'm just a passing through. My treasures are laid up somewhere beyond the blue. Oh yes, angels beckon me
from heaven's open door.
Oh yes, and I can